Strange things happen in the world, and even stranger things are caught every day. Sometimes a sinister creature or a mighty animal. Other times, it's the crazy phenomenons captured and leave the people scratching their heads. So, hold tight to see the incredible moments caught on Dashcam. Ghost or child. Driving casually on the Queensland highway, the driver had no idea what he was about to experience. As he moved a little further, the man noticed something strange on the side of the road. And, well, shocking the driver and the spectators as well. There it was, a ghost standing in the middle of the road. With its pure white color and the fact that it was standing just a few inches above the ground, it got famous among the people as a ghost child. But some, being skeptical of the video, called him just a human baby that happened to come in the middle of the road. Massive whale on highway. Now, that's something not even a dashcam would have expected to capture. A huge, giant whale. After washing up on a British beach, the enormous whale is now being taken to a marine research center for study. But this is not how whale transportation always ends. Sometimes it could end with a boom in the air, like happened in Taiwan when a washed-up whale was being taken to a research center. It suddenly exploded. Though it did not hurt anyone as it was a bit far away from traffic, it sure did shock people to their cores. Tornado lifting the car. Trapped badly in the scary twister, this car driver thought this would be the end of him, but he was wrong. Well, at least for himself. Luckily, he was saved from the tornado, but not the car in front of him. Stuck in the tornado, the car was lifted by the strong wind and then swirling in the air. It vanished. Though nobody knows what happened to that car, when it went a little further, the driver spotted another man laying on the ground, seeking help, and was thankfully rescued by the people. Elephant destroys car. Flopping on the car with its huge size, the elephant seems to have an extra grudge for this car. Even though the last one was saved from the mighty animal, it made sure not to give this one any chance. See how it pounces on the bonnet. And then, well, let me assure you I'm saying it with a heavy heart. Pouncing at the bonnet, the elephant completely destroys it. And, well, there should not be any risk taken. See how the other cars reverse back to avoid being the target of the furious tusker. Massive smoke rings. A portal to hell? An indication of an alien invasion? What are these ominous-looking rings in the sky? Scaring everyone with their dark color and huge size, these black smoke rings floating in the sky have got spectators on edge. Because this is definitely not an everyday sighting. But explaining these sinister rings, researchers said that there may have been a recent explosion or combustion, or possibly an industrial fault which created these strange circles in the sky. Ghost car. A car DVR captured an eerie occurrence on a Russian highway. Everything seems to be normal at the beginning, but things took an unexpected turn along the cars when they accelerated toward the left as a black car popped right ahead of the car. But how? Nobody had seen the car coming. So is it a glitch in the Matrix? Or the man really did not see the car ascending towards him? Let me know what you think of the video. Plane accident. While driving on the roads, one thing nobody can ever expect to encounter is airplanes. But here, a dashcam captures a plane crashing right in the middle of the road. Losing control in the air, the plane slightly hits a yellow minivan driving on the highway, and then crashes off the road, intentionally saving the oncoming cars. Fortunately, the passengers were safely taken out of the plane. Therefore, no life loss was recorded. Motorcycle landing. Spinning on the road and then falling to the side, the bike badly smashed into the car. Seeing it from a little far away, the bike riders rushed towards their fellow, but were surprised to find him sitting in the back of the car, though the car's rear mirror was completely shattered into pieces. Luckily, the bike rider was saved. Bushfire moving with winds. Not a car, but this time, a fire truck's camera caught the unbelievable scenes. The firefighters were called to protect the people's property and land from the incoming fire. but the tables turned as the wind switched paths and approached toward the rescuer's size a bit earlier than expected. So while they took shelter inside their trucks, the dash camera captured the fire's movement, completely filling the land with hot flames. Even though the firefighters were able to protect themselves with water spray, unfortunately, most of the properties were completely destroyed. UFO on the road. A man, while passing through the deserted highway of Nevada, captured this bizarre scene, where a UFO, this time coming down on the road, was tied up on a flatbed truck and was taken away from a public area. Not believing what he was seeing, the man got lucky as his camera recorded the eerie occurrence. While many people deny it being real and called it a prop, the evidence hyped up the UFO enthusiasts. So, real or fake? Prop or an actual UFO? Let me know what you think. Bright orange flash in the sky. Russia, being the center of alien sightings, experienced another one. Driving among the mountains, these car drivers have no idea what they're about to experience. Covered in darkness, the whole sky suddenly lit up with an enormous light, changing the night into day, lasting for about 30 seconds. The light then disappeared into the sky, just the way it has come. So a meteor crash? But a crash without any boom? Or is it really some alien visit that the car camera captured? Millions of crabs. Bringing thousands of tourists toward the Christmas island, filling up the entire roads, this is the crab migration that is happening. And this is what a car experiences when it passes through the road, crushing down hundreds of crabs under their tires, trying to raise awareness about the biggest problem of crab migration. This man captured these heartbreaking scenes where hundreds of crabs are being squeezed down, and now, not with the ones alive, but the road has turned red because of the dead crabs. Strange beam of light. Shocking the people, a bright beam of light illuminated the Floridian skies, looking like a portal of another world which had opened in the sky. This strange light had been baffling the people, because often seen at night with a little distance, this was the first time people were witnessing it in broad daylight. But calling it a UFO landing in our world, people were disappointed when the researchers revealed that it could just be a hole in the cloud, letting sunlight pass through it. Trapped inside the standing car. Coming across what it could have never imagined, a woman along with 2 kids was trapped inside the car in the most unexpected way. Facing a strong storm, the woman, while driving on the Connecticut highway, found herself upended when a long electric pole got stuck with her car. Never having experienced it before and panicking as she might get electrocuted, the woman called 911 immediately. Reassuring her of her safety, they reached her as quickly as possible, and luckily, they were all rescued by the workers. Locust storm. With farmers always ready to deal with them, this time these tiny, sharp-minded insects decided to attack the cars. Thinking it might be a dust storm from a distance, these car drivers from Saudi Arabia were surprised when the dust storm turned out to be thousands of locusts that were storming towards their cars. While there have been many reports of accidents due to these insects covering the windshields, and also of cars damaged because of the locusts stuck inside them, these people managed to come out of it safe and sound. Inside the tornado. Destroying everything that comes in front of it and accelerating at a speed of 70 miles per hour. Seeing this huge tornado coming towards them, the car drove along, and the passengers sitting inside were sure that nothing would be left of them once he'd entered the massive twister. But luckily, just when it was about to gulp their car inside the strong winds, the tornado shifted in another direction. But even though these people were safe from the deadly winds, almost half of the Waries land was completely crushed due to this. Creepy clowns. Scaring the people by popping in front of their cars, the Fox Valley Road was deserted because of the frightening encounters with clowns. hiding behind the trees. They would come rushing towards the cars, and then, scaring the people with creepy maneuvers, they would then go back. But this time, they were encountered by a police officer. Standing still, making their last few attempts to scare off the officer too, the weirdly dressed teenagers were then taken into police custody. Earthquake hits China. Though this might be a little disturbing for some viewers, no one was injured in this incident. A dash camera captured frightening scenes in China on September 5th, 2021. When driving on the highway, they experienced a tremor on the ground. Quickly realizing that it was actually an earthquake, the car instantly stopped, shaking the roads badly for about 5 seconds and causing minor disruptions in the building framework. Thankfully, the quake did not cause any major destruction. Trees falling on road. Driving through the dense forest, the dash cam captures the unthinkable. As the car ascended toward the east, a bunch of trees started to fall to the ground. 1, 2, and many more. The trees kept coming. Well, it usually happens with the trees placed on the slope, and because of the roots being destabilized because of excessive rain. So, is it just me, or is actually related to the breathing forest, which also happens due to the roots' deformity, and is a result of excessive space under the tree's roots? So, when the wind sways, it kind of gives the vibes of a forest breathing. Ghost car slammed into truck. Surprising the people with the unexpected. This time, a dash camera captured the eeriest smash. Driving normally on an Australian main road, there's a small lorry ahead of a yellow car, turning right on the intersection. It badly smashes into another car. Thinking he might not have seen the car coming, the lorry driver accelerated, but the dash cam captured the ghostly arrival of the car. At one moment, the road is clear, and the next, there is the silver car crashing. So, was the car actually present on the road, or was it really a glitch caught on camera? Dashcam captures thief. Breaking into a woman's car, the burglar never saw it coming. It happened in Oregon when a thief broke into a car. Thinking he might have ditched the owners, he had no idea that there was a third eye watching over him. Recording in dark at first, the camera then detected motion, and there it was, a bright flash right on the thief's face that left him stunned, and captured his surprised face too. Realizing that his face had been caught, the thief quickly took what he had come for and left. But with his face clearly captured, he was arrested in days. Truck crash. Barging to the other side, breaking the concrete barrier, this truck heads straight toward the woman standing. But let's rewind a little. A woman comes out of the vehicle and stands outside it holding her baby. And there's another car heading towards the east. But this truck driver had other plans, as it came bursting toward them, first hitting the car front and forcing it to go back. It moves forward. The lady spots the coming disaster before quickly running to the other side to save herself and her baby. But both the cars, unfortunately, are badly smashed. Crash in rain. Motorbiking on Thailand's highway, losing control of the vehicle in stormy weather, the two motorbikers slipped on the wet road, and then sliding in on the main road for some time, the guy then helped the female rider and brought her to the side. Digesting what had just happened to them, both of them, even after sliding down for meters, were perfectly fine and only faced some minor bruises. Closest close call. Driving among the mountains, this man thought he had it all under control. Coming out of the tunnel, the driver, thinking the road would be straight, suddenly lost control of his vehicle. Trying hard to get hold of the steering wheel, it ended up crashing on the side of the highway. Quickly coming out of the car and reaching the rescue workers for help, he was brought back to the land immediately. But what looked like a high fall turned out to be a small leap, as the driver and the car were completely all right. Dumping trash gone wrong. Driving on a deserted road, the woman encountered some strange men blocking her way. One man bangs on the car's bonnet, and that's when she realized that there's some illegal activity going on. Asking about their mysterious activity, she made them furious, and things took a frightening turn when one of the guys spotted the dash cam. Figuring out they might harm her when the lady reversed the car, one of the guys pounced on the car and threatened her. Tilting to the left a bit, she finally gets rid of them. But their mysterious work in the dense forest was never known. Boulder falls off cliff. Steering a vehicle can be a little tricky on rainy days, and when this tricky task is nicely done, something can explode right on the car and can smash it in seconds. That's exactly what happened to this car. Well, not exactly, but, well, let's just see. Driving among the slightly flooded road, people experienced a shocker when suddenly pieces of mud and rocks started to fall off the cliff. At first, small, but then a huge mud splash came over a car and almost threw it out of the road. But what might seem a scary scene to us is a bit ordinary for the people living in the hilly stations. Colorado hailstorm. Completely damaging the car's windscreen. This is another drawback of driving in rainy weather. When an extreme hailstorm hit the Wheat Ridge, Colorado, the people driving on the highways were asked to quickly take some shelter. But this one was badly stuck in the storm. At first slightly breaking the screen, the hail then completely shattered the glass. And not just the front, but hail as big as golf balls broke the rear mirrors. It was then declared the worst catastrophe of U.S. history, as it caused damage worth $2.3 billion. Near miss with plane. Always traveling through the air, planes sometimes get fed up with their flights and come on down to the roads. Just like here, missing the car with less than a foot's difference. The plane hits the ground with its right wing and then straightens up its body and goes back to the air again. But that's not always the case, as sometimes the plane would target you from the air, come down a little, and would strike the roof of your car and go on its way. Lorry destroys tree. Driving through a deserted road, a man stopped his car when he spotted a lady driver standing at the side of the road. Asking if everything was okay, the female pointed towards the roadblock due to a fallen tree. While chatting, these two were definitely not prepared for what was coming their way. It was a huge lorry that somehow lost its control and was ascending toward the cars, marginally missing the first car. It moved forward. While we don't know what happened to the next car, there's a possibility that the lorry stopped right there. Rhino charges at car. First the elephant, and now a rhino. There's something seriously wrong with these animals. Spotting the car from the bushes, a rhino ran right towards the car, and then hitting it with its horn a few times, it loses its hopes of crushing the car and goes off. Not a camera lover, this rhino came straight at the safari guys trying to capture him, but chasing them for some time, it goes back into the woods again. Now look at this one. A car camera captures this frightening moment when a rhino intending to strike the car came straight towards it, and then, changing its mind at the last minute, turned in the other direction. Teleported boy. Driving through a busy road, this man got the shock of his life, as when he was about to take a slight turn to the left, a guy popped out of thin air and fell in front of the black car. Applying a sudden brake, the driver stopped his car, but was shocked at this bizarre scene. Because, well, how? How on earth is this possible for a person to appear anywhere, anytime? So, either the boy was under some spell, or teleportation is possible. Let me know what you think. When a tourist was driving on a Serbian highway, they spotted these three enormous figures. He thought he may have seen aliens. But the gigantic limbs, the hairless bodies, and the fact they were standing immobile in an open field made him curious. So, trying to explore these alien figures, he went a little closer. But the truth was disappointingly simple, as they were no alien creatures, but actually, these three men were a part of the Serbian monument, which was made in the memory of the warriors that were martyred in the late 90s war. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again!